Hello, Internet. Mike Byrne here from MMOBomb.com, bringing you another first look video. This time it's for Super Bomberman R Online, developed and published by Konami Digital Entertainment, and now available on Steam. Previously, it's been available on PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Stadia, but now you can jump in on the PC free to play. We're going to spend about 10-15 minutes checking out the game, giving you our first impressions, and remember, if you like this type of content from us, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications down below so we can notify you every time we post a first look video, free-to-play cast, free-to-play weekly, anything else we're doing on YouTube. Now, if you're like me, you might have a long history with the Bomberman franchise, whether you played it on the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, the Sega Dreamcast, the GameCube, or any of the myriad of platforms that the IP has been released on over the years, except for that one. Dear God, just ignore that one. Trust me. Skip it. If you're looking for something a little bit different, though, maybe Super Bomberman hits that itch. Let's take a look at it together and find out. Now, one thing I do want to get out of the way real quick right off the bat here is that I am editing out loading screens. And if you look through the reviews or even play a few matches yourself, you're going to notice that loading screens are a problem that I think needs to be fixed very quickly across this entire spectrum. It is crossplay, so they're finding matches across all the platforms except for Stadia. You're assed out. You're by yourself out in the cold. That's, whatever, the 5 of you playing on it, that's fine. But anyway, the loading screens take anywhere from like 30 seconds to a minute once you actually already find a match. So I'm editing those out to just keep the video moving right along. Now, Super Bomberman R Online follows in that pattern of things like Tetris 99, where they take games that really don't lend themselves to a battle royale right off the top of your head and make them a pretty competent battle royale. In Super Bomberman R, you'll be playing as one of 64 people in a match divided over 16 Bomberman rooms, and the aim of the game is to blow the blocks off the room, pick up power-ups so that you can drop more bombs, move faster, have the bombs have a bigger blast radius, and take out your opponents along the way. However, on a timer, rooms will start disappearing. This is kind of broken into 3 phases. You'll have your combat round with your room, then you'll go to a movement round on a timer where everybody's got to scramble outdoors to get to the connecting rooms that are still going to be there. Once the second countdown ends, there'll be a brief countdown in new rooms where blocks are going to fall and they can damage you as they come in, so it gives everybody a chance to get placed, and then rinse and repeat as more and more rooms disappear, and the 64 whittle down to 1 Bomberman winner. When you queue up for a match, you'll be prompted to pick one of the bombers as your specific hero, and there's a ton of customization here, and we'll get to that more when we get to the cash shop portion of this a little bit later. But you can customize everything from the actual character you pick all the way down to the bomb that they drop, their pose when they have a victory royale or whatever you want to call it in this game, all the way through all of those types of things. Even the music, the background music can be customized, and since it's a Konami game, there is a lot of cross-referencing with Castlevania and Metal Gear Solid and other franchises where you can play as the heroes. Now, the game itself, once you're in a match, is pretty much Bomberman. If you've ever played it before, you'll pick it up pretty quickly, but since it is over an internet connection, there is sometimes, not all the time, at least in my experience, but sometimes a little bit of input lag here and there, and a little bit of, I was pretty sure that bomb went off when I was headed back in that direction, but oh well. So you do have to get a little bit used to playing it on this particular platform. And the game can be quite exciting and quite fun. I found myself playing match after match after match, recording footage for this first look video, not realizing that for like a 15-minute first look video, I don't need 3 hours of Bomberman footage to go ahead and get that video done. But I got tied up in playing the game. And it is a lot of fun. It plays well once you're in a match. That's not to say that it's all well and good. We've already mentioned the loading screens, but there are some other things you should consider if you're going to take a look at this game. First and foremost, there is a premium DLC pack for $9.99 that opens up a lot of other heroes, Alucard and Old Snake from Metal Gear, and a bunch of other characters. Now, you do get all of the original bombers in multiple colors for free, so you've got that. Right now, they're running a promotion, too, with Fall Guys, so you can go ahead and claim the Jelly Bean dudes for free. as well. And there's 1 or 2 special characters that you do have access to for free. The regular Solid Snake from Metal Gear, not the old one, the regular Solid Snake, and some others available in there. Now, whether or not those rotate, I don't quite know. I couldn't find out off the top of my head. Maybe they do, but the way the shop is structured, I don't think that they do. That $9.99 premium pass not only opens those characters up, though, but it also opens up the availability of a private match. And this is another area where a lot of people in the forums and the Steam reviews and Metacritic, they have expressed concern here. You have to pay that $9.99 to make a private match and play with your friends. Now, that doesn't mean all of you have to pay $9.99, but at least one of you in your group of friends has to pay that $9.99 to go ahead and make a private match that everybody else can then join. That's not a problem. It's just the creation requires that one-time purchase. For the Battle Royale version, you cannot queue up with friends. And I kind of understand what they were going for here. With 64 people in a Bomberman environment, teaming up isn't exactly the best thing you want happening in this game. But I can see also why players might not like, hey, I want to queue up with my friends, and that's fine. Start us in separate rooms to begin with if we're queued as a party as the solution to that. I mean, there are ways around it. I can see why maybe they didn't want to do it. It is Konami, so I'm sure people will attribute malice to the decision and just rushing out a product to get some dollarinos in the bank. You know, you pick your flavor on how you feel about Konami on that front. But yes, the only way to play with friends is in private matches, and you can only do that if at least one of you has bought that $9.99 pack. The other concern that does open up is that the characters have special abilities, and the original Bombers do not. Now, whether or not you view that as pay to win or pay for advantage is going to really, I think, depend on your play style. When you start looking at the individual characters that you're going to play with, yes, these alternate characters have special abilities, but it often comes at the cost of not being able to do something that the bombers themselves, the regular bombers, can actually do, whether that be punch a bomb, pick a bomb up and throw it, kick it down an aisle, kick it through the wall to the other side of the room that you're in. Those types of abilities might not be available on special characters. And it seems that most of the bombers, most of them, not all, have more room for growth than a lot of these special characters. For instance, if you take a look at these stats here, you can see that right off the bat, every character, bomber or special character, is given a certain radius, a certain number of bombs they can drop at once, and a certain speed right off the bat, as shown by these yellow rectangles here. Now, the empty rectangles represent how much room you have for growth. How many additional bombs can you drop if you happen to find those bomb upgrades in the middle of a match? Where special characters might have fewer of these because they have some type of special ability, like Solid Snake can go invisible for a little while and you won't be able to see him on the map. So, again, I can see an argument for pay to win here if you find that a particular ability is just too overwhelming when you're going up against other players. But ultimately, the bombers have, across the board, not all of them, but most of them have more room for growth as far as getting faster, being able to drop the most bombs, and having the highest blast radius. As you're playing, you will level up your Start Pass and your Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is available for free and as an optional purchase at 800 Bomber Coins. That translates to $8 basically, give or take a little bit because of bonuses if you buy in bulk of 500 or more, but it's basically a penny a point, so $8 for the Battle Pass. The Bomber Coins can be used to purchase additional cosmetic items, colored bombs, different songs and soundtracks to use as background music, different taunts, different sayings for your character to say at the beginning of matches, different victory poses, that type of thing. There's a ton of customization here, from costumes to bombs to emotes to everything. But you can't gain Bomber Coins, at least right now as of this recording, in any other way besides buying them or in the Battle Pass, but only the premium version of the Battle Pass. So you have to spend 800 Bomber Coins to be earning about 50 coins per pop when you do come across it in the premium battle pass. And I'll tell you what, at least right now in my experience, the gain in that battle pass is extremely grindy. I don't know. I mean, unless this was so great for you that it became your #1 game that you play day in and day out every day, I don't know how many people are actually going to make level 100 in the standard battle pass. Now, as usual, you do get a couple freebies along the way. If you didn't buy the battle pass, you do get some rewards from the starter pass as you're leveling up. So you are going to pick up cosmetics here and there along the way, including player banners and player avatars on top of the actual character cosmetics. But, yeah, premium is clearly the way they want you to go. Get that. Do that $10 one-time purchase, cool, and then go ahead and buy the battle pass for $8. So, yeah, I'm kind of torn. I love Bomberman. I love the gameplay. It is a lot of fun. There's not a lot to say, unfortunately, on the gameplay. It's Bomberman, except it's done in 16 rooms that whittle themselves down to 1 room. And I do like the way that it plays. But the monetization might not be everybody's cup of tea and what they're looking for in a Bomberman experience, particularly the inability to play with friends in any way without buying the premium DLC, and then after buying the premium DLC, only being able to play with your friends in a private match, not for queuing up in an actual battle royale. So, what do you think? Do you like Bomberman enough? It is fun. I'm torn on this one. I don't like some of the way they're doing the monetization. There is the argument that it's all cosmetic, unless you really think one of those special abilities is game-breaking, and some people do. Some people have already expressed that in reviews. But it is a neat take on Bomberman. There's a feel of nostalgia and classic here. The last thing I will tell you, if you're planning to play this, look up the controller layout. For some unknown to me reason, in the settings, there is no controller map. There's mapping for the entire keyboard, if you're going to play with mouse and keyboard. There's a tutorial that takes you through the bare minimum of how to play. But there is nothing in any of the menus that teach you how to use special abilities or teach you how to use punching or kicking of bombs. It's not there. Yeah, you can see it on the keyboard and mouse if you go into those settings, but there is no, hey, what is my controller mapping? How do I punch a bomb? If you're using an Xbox controller, you're going to drop bombs with B, you're going to use special abilities with A, you're going to do punches and kicks with X, things like that. But you don't learn that anywhere. In fact, in the tutorial, you don't even learn that you can do that. You just see the icons underneath all these different players, and okay, I have a boxing glove. This character does not have a boxing glove. Well, it takes a while before you figure out, okay, that's the punch ability for this and that, and okay, this character can't use that, this one can. So there is a lot of touch and go as you're learning how to play. So just be warned. All in all, this is mediocre for me, I think. I like the Battle Royale gameplay in the Bomberman franchise here. It is fun. It is engaging. Sometimes you're going to have a cheap death through your own bombs or for somebody else's bombs because sometimes the timing doesn't seem to be quite what you'd expect it to be. But there is a lot of fun to be had here if you're willing to put up with some annoyances along the way. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Head on over to MMOBomb.com to the Super Bomberman R online review page and leave your review for fellow gamers on that page. Until next time, gang, this is Mike Byrne from MMOBomb.com saying stay safe, and we'll see you on the server.